clothes you've got on. Do go and change them. Cecily!
My child, my child!
What is the matter? Oh, do look happy. You look as though you had a toothache, and I have such a surprise for you. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother!
Who?
Your brother Ernest. He arrived about half an hour ago.
What nonsense! I haven't got a brother.
Uncle Jack. Don't say that. No matter how badly he may have behaved in the past, he is still your brother. You wouldn't be so heartless as to disown him now, would you? I'm going to go and tell him to come out. And you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are indeed joyful tidings.
We'd all be resigned to his loss. A sudden reappearance seems to be particularly distressing.
My brother is in the dining room. I don't know what it all means, but I think it perfectly absurd. Good heavens! Brother John!
I've come down from town to tell you that I am very sorry for all of the trouble that I have given you, and that I intend to lead a better life in the future.
Uncle Jack, you're not going to refuse your own brother's hand now, are you?
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. I think it's coming down to disgraceful. He knows perfectly well I...
Oh, Uncle Jack, do be nice. Ernest has just been telling me about his poor invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury. He goes to visit so very often. And certainly there must be much good in someone who will leave the pleasures of London to sit beside a bed of pain.
Bunbury. He's been talking about Bunbury, has he?
Oh yes, he told me all about poor Mr. Bunbury and his terrible state of health.
Bunbury. Well, I don't have to talk about Bunbury or about anything else. It's enough to drive one perfectly frantic.
Oh, well, of course I admit that the faults were all on my side. However, I must say that I think Brother John's coldness towards me is peculiarly painful. I expected a more enthusiastic welcome, especially considering it is the first time I have come here.
Uncle Jack, if you won't shake Ernest's hand, I will never forgive you.
Never forgive me?
Never! Never, never.
Fine. Well, this is the last time. I shall never do it.
It is pleasant, is it not, to see so beautiful a reconciliation. I think we might leave the two brothers together.
Cecily will come with us.
Certainly, Miss Prism. My little task of reconciliation is over.
You've done a beautiful action today, dear child.
It's not going to premature in our judgments.
I feel very happy.
Oh, you young scoundrel! You've got to go to this place as soon as possible! I don't allow any Bunbury in here!
I have put Mr. Ernest's luggage in the room next to your own, sir. I suppose that is all right?
What?
Mr. Ernest's luggage, sir. I have unpacked it and put it in the room next to your own.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I am afraid I can't stay any more than a week this time.
Marion, order the dog cart at once. Mr. Ernest has been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a fearful liar you are, Jack. I've not been called back to town at all.
Yes, you have.
I haven't heard anyone call me.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back.
My duty as a gentleman has never interfered with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand that.
Oh, hell. Oh, Cecily is a dog.
You are not to talk this funny like that. Oh my God!
I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. Why on earth don't you go up and change? It is perfectly childish to be in mourning over a man who is actually staying with you for a whole week in your house as a guest. I call it grotesque.
You are certainly not staying with me as a guest for a whole week or as anything else. You have got to leave by the 4:00 train.
Well, I certainly won't leave you as long as you were in mourning. It would be most unfriendly. If I were in mourning, stay with me, I suppose. I should think it most unkind if you didn't.
Will you leave if I change my clothes?
Oh, yes. If you are not too long. No, I never saw anybody take so long to dress and with such little result.
Well, at any rate, this one isn't always being as overdressed as you are.
If I am occasionally a little overdressed, I make up for it by always being immensely overeducated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage, and your presence here in my garden utterly absurd. But you've got to catch the 4:05, and I hope you have a pleasant journey back to town. This Bunbury, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
Well, I believe it has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily. And that is everything. But I must see her before I go. Make arrangements for another boat ride.
I just came back to water the roses. I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
Oh, well, he's gone to order the dog cart for me.
Oh, is he going to take me for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
Have we got to part?
Yes. It is a very painful part.
It's always painful to be parted from someone to whom one has only just been introduced. Separations from old friends can be endured with equanimity, but to be separated even momentarily from someone whom one has only just met is almost unbearable.
Thank
The dog cart is at the door, sir.
Ask it to wait, Merriman, for 5 minutes.
Yes, miss.
I hope, Cecily, I shall not offend you if I state quite openly and frankly that you seem to me to be, in every way, the visible personification of absolute perfection.
I think your frankness does you great credit, Ernest. If you will allow me, I will record your remarks into my diary.
Do you really keep a diary? Well, I would give back anything to read it. Ma'am?
Oh, no! You see, it is quite simply a young girl's record of her own thoughts and impressions, and consequently meant for publication. I do hope that when it appears in volume form that you will order a copy. But pray, Ernest, don't stop. I delight in taking down from dictation. I have just reached absolute perfection. You may go on now. I am quite ready for more. Don't cough, Ernest. When one is dictating, one should speak fluently and not cough. Besides, I don't know how to spell a cough.
Cecily, ever since I first looked upon your wonderful and incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
Don't think that you should tell me that you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Hopelessly doesn't make much sense now, does it?
Oh, Cecily.
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
Tell it to come around next week at the same hour.
Yes, sir.